Welcome to Tall Tales, Short Stories, and Dusty Film Cans. Enjoy a story created to inspire and ignite. Long before history flattened passion into paragraphs and turned gods into marble, there was a story too dangerous to survive untouched. This is not a tale of lovers. It's a tale of warpaint and wine, of power shared like a secret and burned like a torch. Inspired by the legendary tragedy of Antony and Cleopatra, the Falcon and the Lotus reimagines their love not as a fall, but as a rise so volcanic the world still feels the heat. Enter a world of thunderous romance, knife-edge dialogue, and empire-shattering desire. Cassian Valor, Satia Neferu. He, the fire of a dawning republic. She, the serpent queen of the sand. Together, they didn't find love. They weaponized it. And when the ashes settled, even the stars remembered their names. Welcome to the legend behind the legend. The Falcon and the Lotus, a tall tale by 11 goddess. Chapter 4. Letters burn, beds ignite. The parchment burned faster than expected. Cassian dropped the letter into the brazier without a second glance, watching the inked lies curl and vanish in firelight. The room smelled of myrrh and treason. He stood in Satia's private quarters, surrounded by velvet, power, and the ghosts of unspoken futures. Behind him, Satia stood barefoot and furious, her robe half slipped off one shoulder. "That was my only copy," she said, though not with anger, more like arousal disguised as indignation. He turned. "It was a bribe from Rain. Promises of clemency if I abandon you. I don't keep blackmail, especially not in your bedroom." She crossed the room slowly. "You think burning the letter fixes the offer? I think it proves I don't need the paper to choose you." She stopped inches from him, the firelight painting her in gold and rage. "You just declared war on the West, with fire, in my room, where I sleep." "I thought we were declaring war together," he said, and this seemed more memorable than signing parchment. She slapped him, then she kissed him. The slap was loud. The kiss was louder. He backed her into the wall, and her fingers tore at the clasp of his armor like she was dismantling a city. They kissed like soldiers, like lovers, like pyromaniacs. She broke away first, panting. "If we're doing this, it has to be all in. You don't get to leave halfway through. Not the bed, not the throne. I'm already yours," he said, lifting her as if the war could wait. Later, as the room still smoldered with the scent of sweat and diplomacy, she lay beside him and asked, "Do you regret it?" "Burning the letter?" "Choosing me." He pulled her against him. "Satia, I'd burn the entire republic if it meant I got to watch it reflect in your eyes." She smiled like a goddess who'd just been worshipped correctly. And outside the palace walls, 100 loyalists raised black banners in the dark, unaware that their leaders had just made love and war in the same breath. Chapter 5. Gods and Monsters. The crown weighed nothing. It wasn't forged from gold or bronze or iron. It was made of night-blooming jasmine and thin strands of silver, shaped like flames and fastened with pins the length of daggers. But Satia Neferu wore it like it had been waiting for her since time itself began. The coronation was private. There were no priests, no nobles, just the two of them, standing in the ruined temple atop the cliffs of Thebes, as waves slammed the rocks below like applause from the abyss. Cassian knelt. It wasn't performative. It wasn't even romantic. It was reverent. The way a man kneels when he knows the fire before him is divine and could eat him alive, and still he bows. "I name you consort of the flame," Satia said, placing a second crown. a circlet of obsidian and braided leather on his head. Not because I need a king, but because a god deserves a god. He looked up at her. Then I name you my religion. She smiled, sad and wide. That's the most dangerous thing you've ever said. They kissed beneath a crumbling statue of a long-forgotten deity, and the sea roared as if it remembered their names. Later, as the wind screamed outside their private sanctum, Cassian traced the length of her spine with one finger and said, "We'll lose everything for this." "No," Satia whispered into his mouth. "We'll become everything because of this." She rolled over and looked at the stars. "When they write of us, I want them to say we weren't content with crowns. We took constellations." "And if they curse us?" he asked. "They already do." Outside, the guards stood in silence, watching two banners rise together on the highest mast, the Falcon of the West and the Lotus of the East. And above it all, the sky held its breath. This exciting tale is reaching its climax, so stay tuned. Thank you for joining us.